Morning.
Yep,
How you doing?
pretty good.
Hello. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. Oh. Maybe not. No, that's fine.
You guys?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I felt bad on Friday. Were you on after? Who kicked me off?
Oh, what?
Because
Somebody kicked you off of what?
well, I'm assuming I was unconscious.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You fell asleep. Austin and I thought you were waiting to ask a question.
I'm so sorry.
And we're like, I said, Austin, I have a hunch what's going on here. Josh is asleep.
They were all awesome. I really enjoyed all your presentations.
No, I knew why you were asleep. If you work night
Alright.
shift, and I know you weren't sleeping during class. It was just when class was over. So,
Yeah, that's
hey,
funny.
Brother Miller,
Hello.
how's it going?
Good.
Good. Do we know who has the fear fighting thought today?
I'll go check.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Good to see you all today on a Monday morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, Besmir, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Besmir, would you mind saying the prayer for us?
Yeah, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Dear Father in heaven, grateful Father for this beautiful week we are starting. We pray as we get together as a class, we'll be able to learn new principles that we'll be able to apply in our daily work and our daily lives. We pray that your Spirit may dwell among us, that we'll be able to continue to enjoy the class and our studies as we learn and as we work together as a class. We pray, Father, for your help and guidance for the teachers and all the students, that we may have the help that we need. We pray for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Besmir. So, who did something fun this weekend? Wants to share?
I guess I did something fun.
Okay.
I got engaged like 2 weeks ago, so we're getting married on
Wow.
August 1st.
You're getting married. What? Say the rest. Sorry.
August 1st.
Congratulations.
And
Thank
your
you.
running buddy is just hearing about this now?
Yeah.
The heck, man?
Yeah, I know, right? I kept it kind of low. And so we were able to find the venue because it was really hard with so many weddings in Utah. It's like hard to find a place. But we're able to find a good place that was like pretty and was not very expensive. So
Awesome.
we're very excited.
That's so cool. And is
Consider
your
forgiving you if you send me an invite.
Okay.
where does your fiance live?
She lives here in Utah. So she lives in Mill Creek. And so we're just 30 minutes away from each other, so it's not too far.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's going to be hard to beat that announcement. But if anyone else had something fun this weekend you want to share?
Josh Elliott, I just sent you a message.
Alrighty.
We're still doing announcements right now. So anyone else have anything? Sorry.
I finished my chicken coop. That's my announcement. My chickens are now living in the chicken coop.
That's good. Just in time for them to be protected from this crazy weather, I guess. Where were they living before that?
In the garage.
Okay, and they might have liked it better there.
I don't know. I think they like I'm pretty happy. I think they like it.
Okay, good.
So does Josh have the fear fighting thought, Josh Elliott?
Yeah, I was just checking with him to see if he was ready. Looks like he is.
Okay,
I'm
go
as
for it.
ready as I'm going to be, unless you really want to do whatever you. But
No, we'd like you to go. Go for it.
I don't know. During the last couple of weeks, I've been studying the Book of Moses and the things that Enoch has been doing. And Enoch shows us that even if you're not the best at speaking, you could still become one of the best orators in the history of mankind through the power of Christ, and be one of the best prophets of all mankind with the power of Christ, and do God's work and do whatever God wants you to do with his power if we have faith. So my fear-fighting thought is have faith. I don't know, not much for words, but here it is.
Thank you. I love it. Fear and faith cannot coexist. So that's right on point.
Yeah.
That was great. I love the story of Enoch. When I was teaching seminary for just like 1 year, I was a student teacher. And I remember one day a student asked me, Brother Murdoch, when are we going to be done with the book of Moses? And I didn't know. We had done it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I didn't want to ever leave the book of Moses. So I just wanted to stay in it for the rest of the year. It was the Old Testament, so we had to jump out of it, but I really loved it. Thanks for sharing that.
One of the best books.
What'd you say?
One of the best books, and people have studied that for years.
Yes. So rich with so much information that we didn't have before Joseph Smith restored it. It's pretty amazing. In fact, I remember in high school, we actually were fortunate to be allowed to study the Bible in a public high school when I was younger. And we studied it in English class. And so I brought all these Bibles from seminary. They were extras and let all the students use them. Well, of course, it had some information, footnotes and stuff that were referring to the Book of Mormon and the Doctrine and Covenants and things like that. And I just told the students, just ignore that. Just stick to the Bible. It's all there. You can read it. And one day, I didn't follow my own rule. I started talking about Enoch and his translation and being taken up into heaven and stuff in class because I thought it was all in the Bible. And everyone got really quiet. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, is that not in the Bible? No, it's not in the Bible.
They thought you were a visionary man. Making up your own accounts.
Yeah, that was a definitely interesting experience, but good opportunity to share the gospel at school, I guess. Okay, so today is going to be really fun. This whole week is going to be really fun. Brother Miller and I have decided that this week, rather than focusing on reading and doing hands-on exercises, we're going to have this whole week dedicated to you building your own deployment pipeline in Google Cloud from scratch. So right now, the last thing we did in Git was push code on index.html file. And I'm going to share my screen. I'll do that. Let's see here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you go to modules and go to week 8, you will notice from your point of view, there's no reading quiz. There shouldn't be. Oh, darn.
There is.
Ah, oh gosh. Well, I don't know what to do about that, but I'll work on that. And there is a assignment called Pipeline in Progress. If you go to that one, a code deployment pipeline is what makes your code automatically deploy. So in other words, the magic that happens when code is merged into master in GitHub is really just automation set up by someone to make your code live. This week will be dedicated to making that happen. By now, you should have some code to deploy, which is your index.html file in VS Code. Let's get that in the light of day. So there are some things missing to make that happen. A Docker file, a Kubernetes deployment manifest, a cloud build file, a cloud build trigger, and a DNS entry pointing to your IP address. This project is a reference that has it has all those things set up in Google Cloud. Once you have the cloud build trigger publishing your code, please submit a screenshot of your website live and running. This is your project for the week. And as a team, you guys can figure out if you want to work together on it. You each need to do your own still. I would suggest you do work together. I think it'll help it go faster and you guys can help each other with it. What questions do you have? None? Okay. Okay, so if there's no questions, we're going to break you into groups. Brother Miller, did you have anything to add?
Yep. So that quiz that was scheduled, I just pushed it out 2 weeks. So
Okay.
you guys don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about reading or a quiz this week. We'll just say anytime over the by the end of the month, almost, we'll let you get that one done. Because we're going to switch to hands-on mode quite a bit here. So I think the expectation is that there will be some of this work happening outside of class, because you're not going to be required to do reading and quizzes. So you might have to adjust your patterns a little bit for this class on how you're going to attack it.
So just a quick question with this one. Is it a week-long assignment?
Yes.
Okay. And when it's due on Saturday, I guess?
Yes. I wouldn't wait till Saturday, but that's the absolute deadline is Saturday night at 11:59 p.m.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions?
I don't.
Is this pipeline in progress? Because I don't see it. And oh, it's on week 8. It's 60 points.
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up in the calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do? Let's see. There's something I do that sometimes doesn't make it show up in the calendar.
Due date. It needs a
Darn it.
due date. Then
I
it
had
should
that.
show up.
Oh, I did the wrong thing. I did available until.
Yeah, that always gets me.
Thanks, guys. Should
And what
show up in
about-
your calendar now. Good catch.
And what about the tutorials in the cloud that is due today?
Okay, that one is going to be pushed back too. I'll push it back.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for catching that, David.
Just something else is the 2 links to go to the console cloud Google for the cloud build trigger. Neither of those links work.
You're right. Let's see what happened there. Oh, there's a comma in it. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
So if we edit it, there's a comma in that link, which there shouldn't be. See that
I think
percent
there's
2C?
one in the second link.
What's that?
I just think there's a comma in the second link as well.
Okay, I'll delete that. Percent 2C is the URL encoded version of a comma, in case you guys ever wondered what that is. Anytime you see a percent, that's what it is you're looking at a URL encoded punctuation or symbol. And let's fix the other one. Good catch. So if you look at this, it has that on it, which we don't need. Need it up here either. Thanks, guys. Good QA for me. appreciate it. What else? What questions do you have about the assignment? Okay, sounds like you're ready to go do it. Let's send you off to your teams. I notice, is Zibia here today? Does anyone know if Zibia is here? I don't see her. Hey, Lauren, are you with us?
Yes.
How are you
I can
doing?
shoot her a text.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And if she doesn't answer you right away, could I have it be your assignment to help her get up to speed today at some point or tomorrow?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
I don't know how much of my daughter's singing you can hear, but she's singing a song for everyone. Almost got everybody. Okay, if you need help, just raise your hand or come back. Either one.
Just a quick question. For the cloud platform, what project are we putting it to? Is it the BYUI, CIT 262?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I think it's up to you, but I would put it in there. It's easier, I think, to find it. But you don't have to. You could put it just under your own as a personal one. I don't know how well that'll play with the Google Cloud build trigger if it's not a public repository. I don't think it has to be one though. So you can try it and see if you want.
All right.
Good question. Andrew, how you doing? I think Andrew's just away from his computer. There he goes. Did you want me to send you to something, or did you have something you wanted to talk about first? Brother Miller?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I'm looking through the assignment a little bit more. I'm trying to kind of determine how much help they're going to need.
Sure.
I suspect some of them are going to feel like they need a little bit more documentation.
I did that on purpose, by the way.
Yeah, I figured you did. So that's cool. I mean, it's probably good for them to figure it out a little bit. But even if it was just like here's the general documentation, I don't know. Maybe they've already found that. Maybe they should already know where that is by now. What do you think?
When you say general documentation, and are you talking about like each of the different areas, like on Docker files and Kubernetes and that kind of thing?
Maybe, yeah, probably.
Or something else?
Well, unless I guess I was thinking, are there Google Cloud pages that talk about each of these? I mean, they've got all week to work on it, so you know it's not unreasonable for them to go find it. But
I was wanting to kind of make it like if you were at work and your product owner or your boss said, here's something I need you to do. And
Yeah.
these are the things you're going to need to do for it to work.
yeah.
And I wanted it to be that level of instruction.
Okay. How are we gonna grade it? No, submit a screenshot. Okay.
So if it's up and running at the URL,
Mhm.
they get all the points.
Okay. Can you maybe show me what it's gonna look like?
Yeah. So what'll happen is they'll have a VS Code. They'll have a project that looks like this. They're going to have, they already have this right now. And so, closing it. So this is their index HTML. It can be anything. Mine looks like this. The one I gave them as a sample is this project. But they've already got their index.html. That's the only thing they have. They did
Okay.
that in the Git exercises.
Right.
So they need to
So
add.
do they
Go ahead.
each have their own, or
Yes,
are
they
you
do.
having they each have their own personal
Correct.
copy? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that was the last week we spent was getting their own GitHub repo for their own project.
Okay, right. Okay.
So then they'll have this already done, but they'll be missing everything else. So tell me if you want me to keep going or stop there.
Keep going.
Okay. So the next thing they're going to need is a Docker file. And it's going to look like this because they'll be running Nginx. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like Apache web server. It's identical to that.
Okay.
So they'll need a Docker file that has Nginx on it. Then they're going to need a deployment manifest file. Hey,
Brother
John.
Murdoch.
How you
Would
doing?
you mind sending me back to my breakout room? My computer didn't shut off.
Absolutely. 1 second.
Also, while you're doing that, my group was wondering how we're planning on doing these instructions, like how you want us to incorporate Docker, how.
Yeah, so there's a sample GitHub project in the instructions.
Okay.
And you can reference that one. That's the team page that we did. Do you remember that team page that had all the teams? So I did a bunch of work there to get that all deploying automatically whenever I pushed my code. And you guys will just want to follow the same steps that I did in that one.
Okay.
And those steps are outlined in the assignment. So the first thing is your Docker file, then your application manifest for Kubernetes.
Okay.
Have you heard of Kubernetes?
No.
So Kubernetes is basically a Docker, it's a Docker swarm kind of setup where you have a bunch of Docker instances running and they receive web traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So Kubernetes is a way of you saying, I want to take this Docker image and I want to go run it in the cloud. So the app.yaml file tells it like how much memory do you want to have and how much CPU do you want and things like that. How many containers do you want to be running? And it'll set up all of that for you when you run it.
Okay, so we need to like type out the file and then run it. Can we do this all in VS Code or?
Yep. Yeah, I would just do it all in VS Code.
Okay.
And then you've got to commit it to your GitHub repo, the one you've set up already.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got to set up a trigger in Google Cloud. And that's almost the last step. And so once you get that cloud trigger running, then I think you'll start remembering some things we did a few weeks ago that were really similar to this.
Yeah. All right.
But if you have more questions, just come on back, and then if I can remember how to run Zoom again, we'll be good. Let's see. Somehow, what did I do? Breakout rooms. There we go. I always lose that. And you are in
Group 1.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Do you want me to keep sharing?
Sure. So you expect that they'll basically we'll be doing the same thing Wednesday and Friday, right?
Correct.
So okay, I think you're right, Sean. I think given that they've got 3 hours to work on in class, essentially, we don't want to give them too much. You're right. So I've got to resist that that urge, I guess.
The hand holding, the
yeah.
step-by-step pragmatism.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think they've got all week. Essentially, if they figure this out within 5-6 hours, then we're good. And that's what we're shooting for, really.
Right. Yeah, and if they need to take time outside of class, I feel okay with it because they're not reading for the book this week, hopefully.
Exactly. You're right. Hey, Andrew, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, good. So for me, I have a quick question. I'm a little bit lost, I must say. Okay.
No problem.
So do I have to go to the Google Cloud platform first?
So you will want to use VS Code, and in your project, you'll have an index.html file right now in your folder. And in that folder in VS Code, you're going to want, can you see my screen right now, Andrew?
Yeah.
So you'll have a folder like this one, and you'll have a file like this. But you're going to want to add a Docker file that looks like this, and there's a reference project at the end of the assignment. There's a URL to that reference project, and it has everything all set up for you. So all you have to do is create a Docker file like that one. It's the first step. And then you're going to want to push that Docker file to your GitHub repository.
Okay.
And then after that, you're going to want to do your application deployment manifest file, which is going to look like this. It's similar. It's from the same project I'm showing you that the URL points you to. And then the last thing you're going to need is a cloud build file. This cloud build file is what's going to run in Google Cloud to deploy your project.
Okay, understood.
Cool. And then once you've got all that stuff pushed to GitHub, you're going to go to the Cloud Console in Google, and you're going to create what's called a cloud build trigger. And that's going to make it so whenever you push code, it runs this cloud build.
Oh, okay. Okay. So one more quick question. So like you said, you have these files. Do I have to copy the code to GitHub, or it's just?
Say that one more time.
Because I can see on like, let's say doc file has like some code in it.
Yeah.
So do I have to copy the code from the URL?
Yeah. So if you go out to the sample URL that I gave you guys, and look at that one, you can either clone it. That would be nice. You can just clone it like this. Just make sure you get out of, so if you go to the terminal, let's see. If you go to your terminal like this, just make sure that you go cd ... like that before you clone it. But then you can do like git clone like that. And that'll actually pull down the whole project. So then if you go to Kubernetes projects, then you can go file, add folder to workspace, and then you go find it. And for me, I put it here. Then there it is. So I can open it now, and everything's here for me to look at in VS Code that I need. I've got the Docker file. I've got the application manifest, I've got the cloud build file, and all of it's in VS Code for me to compare. There's this nice little window, or you can click on this icon and it will split it. So you can be working on the right side and be looking at something else on the left side at the same time.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Good question. Have fun. If you get stuck, come back, okay?
Would you mind just reassigning me? I had to switch computers
Yeah, no problem.
to Team 5.
Let's see if I can figure out how to control Zoom again. I always end up losing the breakout rooms. There we go. Assign you to... It's 5, right?
Yeah.
Fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So should they all already have VS Code installed?
Yeah, that was part of the assignment 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was all individual or group, like to where they maybe don't all have it installed. But
It was an individual assignment, and they had to do a screenshot of the installation on their computer. So they had to install Git and VS Code. I think those were the only 2 things. And then they had to do screenshots showing that they were set up.
Okay.
Andrew, you're back.
I think I might, my laptop I just, I think, turn off, but I might need to be reassigned again, probably too.
Okay, what's your group number?
2.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Hey, just had a quick question.
Sure.
What file type is the Docker file?
Isn't that weird? It doesn't have one. There's no extension.
So it's just Docker file, no
Yeah.
anything else?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Okay, that's a new one for VS Code
Yeah.
for me, but
Yeah, they kind of did their own thing with that.
all right.
Just make sure it's named exactly Docker file with an uppercase D. That's all you have to do.
Okay, and then
Yeah, that was a really good question because it's not normal.
and then so looking at everything else, I'm guessing it's more than just a copy and paste. Like there are some things in them you'll have to change and everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, but all of these have to be like self-created. You can't just get them created from Google Cloud. You have to make them yourself.
Yeah, you have to make your own file.
Okay.
And you can just do it here. And what I was showing the couple other students just a second ago is I would recommend cloning this project in VS Code. And just that way you can do like a split window, and I'm sure you're familiar with that because of your web design class. But you can have on the right hand, you can have the file from that project, and on the left you can have your own file, and you can kind of work on one looking at the other. I do that all the time. It helps a lot.
Okay. All right, I will give it a try and come back if I have more questions.
Sounds perfect.
The one thought that I'm having, that maybe instead of documentation, all that, as I was mentioning, maybe if at some point this week we could give them some kind of graphic that shows, hey, these are the pieces and how they hook together, just to help them, the students that are really lost, help them kind of visualize. And I don't even know what it would look like, so I'm just kind of talking out loud here.
I have one that I think would do it. I think it's just this one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that one.
Hopefully,
So,
but I think we could retool it a little bit to show the artifact in context. So you've got a Docker file that's traveling along this trajectory, but that doesn't really get demonstrated in this version. So I like your idea. We could take this diagram and rework it so it demonstrates how each of the pieces they're building plays into the whole flow.
I think that would probably help at least half of the students who really probably are having trouble visualizing what it is they're doing with this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
I like that idea.
I probably need to, I haven't been doing the assignments, so I probably need to actually do them all. I've just been kind of trying to follow along, but I
You
probably
can
need
catch up really quickly. So you just want to make sure you have Git installed and VS Code. That's the main
Okay.
two things.
Okay. And then my last question for you is, are you still manually filling out everyone for the breakout rooms, or do you have that automated now?
I'm still doing it manually.
Okay, it's so nice to do it automated. I do it in my other class. Do you want me to show you how to do it?
So let me show you what I thought I did. It's like I lose stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
With Zoom, I don't trust it. It's like I set things up. I've made you a co-host at least twice.
I know what you're talking about a little bit, but once I really got it set up right, then that seems to hold its settings pretty well. So
okay.
Yeah.
So under meeting, I don't even remember where.
Scroll down. Where's it at? They have breakout room. There we go. Okay. I saw it for a second. Where'd it go? Okay.
There it is.
So when scheduling, no, that's not it. Yeah, that's probably good. Where's it at? No, I'm not seeing it. What? Where is it on mine?
I don't know.
Let me go find
Share
it.
your screen. You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll try it. Now I'm probably not gonna be able to find it. So let's see here. Meetings, personal meeting room. That's where I go. So there we go. So are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So meetings and then personal meeting room. Okay.
Okay.
And I can't do this for you since this is your meeting room. So if you want to do it, you got to be the one to do it. And then down here under breakout rooms, this says it lets you create a certain number of breakout rooms in advance. So I just created 20. So that way I could actually cover all of my classes. Here's what I did in my head was, all right, basically the way this works is anytime I open my personal room, okay, and one of these students with one of these email addresses pops up into my personal room. So even if I'm just doing like interviews scheduled or whatever, if one of these students pops up in for an interview and I went to go bust out breakout rooms, he'd automatically be assigned. So it doesn't have any particular, it doesn't know that this is a given time slot or anything like that. It just knows anytime I open my own personal room, my own personal Zoom room, and any of these particular students show up and I open breakout rooms, it'll automatically slot them into here. So what I've done is—
Can you show me how you got to that again?
Sure. But what I've done is since I have 2 classes, I've used breakout rooms 1 through 7 for my first class.
Okay.
And then my second class, I started 11.
I see.
So my other section, they all just go into breakout rooms 11 through 15 automatically. And so all their emails are in here. And so, for example, what I would do is, let's say, like, this is kind of okay with some names of people who don't have very that don't have very common names. So, for example, if I did John Purvis, there he is. So he would show up. So I could add John Purvis to there. Right? Not too hard. When you have someone that, like, there's duplicate last names, then you need to go get their email address and paste it in here.
Okay.
And so that's okay. Anyway, where did I go? It was under personal meeting room.
Okay.
Under meetings, personal meeting room. Here, I'll let you share now.
All right.
Brother Miduk, I'm back. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay. Can I share with you? Can I share my screen with you?
Yep.
Okay. Because everyone else, is wondering how to do this whole thing. So, Okay, so you said I come here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I just click clone or download. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then
And
go ahead.
do I copy this?
URL.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then I go to my VS Code.
Right.
Can you see that?
Hold on a second. I'm only seeing your browser. Do you want to reshare again and share your whole screen? That might help.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so I just come on new terminal, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
just new terminal,
Yep.
right?
You've got a terminal there.
And cd dot dot.
Now, yeah, you're in Andrew K. So can you do a dir?
Like that.
Yeah. You probably have a bunch. Let's see. Oh, so Andrew K. Yeah. So this is your GitHub project. Perfect. So yeah. So you go cd dot dot.
Okay.
CD space. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then enter.
And then do dir again, if you would.
Then just enter.
Yes. So cool. So you have a bunch of stuff in your documents folder. So now you're gonna clone this project into this folder. So you'd say git clone, git space clone.
Okay.
And then paste that URL. You'll want a space. Yep. Perfect.
And then hit.
And then you want to add that folder to your workspace.
Okay.
Go file. That's how I do it, at least. Add folder to workspace. Oh, hold on. Click cancel. You want to do file, add folder. There you go. And then go under Andrew K. Oh no, that's GitHub. Sorry, that's your other project in GitHub. It's MicroPages team page. See that one?
This one?
Click that, and then add. And it should show up in here in a second.
Okay.
On the left. If you expand untitled, see on the left, there's the untitled workspace.
Mm-hmm.
Click that. And now you have both MicroPages team page and Andrew K. So if you click that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And if you double click one of those, like the Docker file, for example.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
There's your Docker file. And then do you see the little split window icon in the upper right corner?
Yeah, this one?
Keep going to the right, all the way over. That one in the middle. Yes, click that. And now you can make a new file and work over here and be looking at the one on the left at the same time.
Okay.
So do you know how to do a new file in here?
No.
So right click Andrew K. On the left in the project view. Yeah. Right click Andrew K. Say new file. And then call it Docker file.
Okay.
Okay, then enter. Okay, now double click. There you go. So this is the one on the right is the new one. And the one on the left is the one that's already you're copying from.
Okay.
So you can kind of do that and get it together that way.
Okay. So I'll have to do that with both like the app, this one as well.
Yeah, you'll want to create the app YAML and the cloud build YAML also.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Hey, Ty.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just confused at what to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see any instructions on how to do.
Yeah. And so I should have explained a little more. We're taking a different approach with this assignment. So the idea with this one is, say you were at work or something, and your manager or your team lead said, I need you to do a few things for me, Ty. And you just had enough time to write it down on a scrap of paper. So you wrote down the 4 things he told you to do. And then now you're back at your desk. This is where you are right now, right? You don't know how to do those things. You just know you need to somehow do them. And that's fine. That's kind of how it is a lot of the time. So
right.
Where do you want to start? What's your first question?
So I got the clue to use a lot of the similar files that the micropages repository had. I just don't know how to configure it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that's a very valid question. So basically, let's see, I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Do you want to share your screen, Ty?
Yep.
Okay. Great. So you've got the reference one all checked out here. That's perfect. And then you've got your own project over there, Ty's website. Is that the one?
Yep.
Great. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have each of these files, you're going to want to have one like it with the same name in your project. And so if we start with the Docker file, for example, you're going to need a Docker file. And if you open that one, you can see this one's pretty nice. It's like the easiest one. So this Docker file is just saying, I'm going to use Nginx to run this website. And then when I run it, I need you to run this HTML. So copy that HTML from my project into the container. And that's what it's telling it to do.
Okay.
So you'd want one just like it because you're doing the exact same thing. And your index HTML even has the same file name. So in this case, all you got to do is copy this file over. What I like to do, I like to type it out because it somehow helps my brain remember what I did better. But it's totally up to you if you want to type it or copy it.
Okay. Whoops. Just like that. I think it's the same.
Yeah. And then the others are going to be a little different. So if you look at your app YAML file, this is for Kubernetes. How familiar are you with Kubernetes?
Not at all.
Okay, so Kubernetes is a Docker, they call it orchestration. I hate that word because it doesn't really mean anything, but it just means that you can have a bunch of Docker containers running in the cloud. That's basically what it means.
Okay.
So this file is doing a few things. If you look at line 33, there's 3 dashes. And in YAML format, what that means is you're separating into different sections. So line 1 to 33 is one type of thing. Line 34 to 44 is another type of thing. And line 45 to 56 is another type of thing.
Okay.
And so if you look at the kind field, kind tells you what kind of thing it is for each one of those 3 sections. So it says service here. So what is a service?
It's just another container, or is it?
A service is a group of containers in this context. So it's a bunch of containers that are all doing the same thing, basically. And it's actually even more than that. It's giving you a network address to communicate with those containers. So that's actually how your IP address gets created.
Okay.
So you'll notice in this one, mine are all named CIT 262 group all everything. When I make a new one, all I do is copy this file and I replace any place it says CIT 262 group all. I replace it with my project, whatever it is.
Is that the same for like this app too? Change this?
Yep, every single place you see that CIT 262 group all, change it to your own application name, whatever you want it to be. It just needs to be lowercase and it can have dashes in it.
Okay. So copy. Paste that over.
And if you do edit, it's a fast way of doing it, but you can do it manually too. You can do edit replace, and then you can just have it replace all of them. Sometimes this isn't a good idea, but I know in this file for a fact that it won't hurt you to do it. So I'd change 262-group all. Make sure you get that part. Yeah. And then just click, there's a little guy to the right. There's two of them, and click the second one. There's those little, yeah, not, so to the right of the AB on the bottom, there's Ty's website. That one, then go to the right one. Yeah, replace all.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh.
And now it's got them all except the first one. You just need to replace that whole thing with Ty's website. And there shouldn't be a group all in it.
Do you have to do that for cloud build as well?
Yeah, so cloud build, you'll want to modify and customize it for your specific case as well. Yeah. Same thing. Now, yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Just replace it like.
Yep.
Like that.
Now I change it to the name of my folder. Is that correct?
Yeah, usually, as long as your folder doesn't have spaces in it, and it should be all lowercase. You can have dashes if you want, but you don't have to.
Well, I didn't know I had that question, but I'm glad I joined. Perfect.
So I also, let's see, I was kind of looking around and I think I made my own trigger. Is that?
Yeah.
What?
So now when you don't click that link though, it's so annoying because you have to click below it. See where it says default push trigger 8? Yeah, that's what you click. And now you're in the trigger.
Okay.
So you want to look at the one I did for this project you're referencing and make it look similar to that. There's a little bit of a difference.
Cool. I think I got a good start. So
yeah,
thanks for
definitely.
the help. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
it.
problem. Anytime. So Josh, did you have a question?
I did. I was first wondering about the cloud build.
Okay.
But I probably need to take a step back now because
okay.
What was just going on with name. So my folder name has capitals in it. Should
That's
I match
okay.
it?
The folder name doesn't really matter too much. It's more, you have to choose a name for your application in the app YAML file.
Oh, gotcha.
And you need to replace CIT262-group all. That's the application name in there. You'll want to replace that with your application name, and it should be lowercase, and it can have dashes.
Okay. And then I should change CIT262 in the cloud build as well.
Yes.
And I'll just change it to my folder name as well.
Yeah. Just don't forget to take the -group all out of there too. It's all one big name.
Okay, so I think that is it for those then. So for the cloud build, I opened that navigation menu. I went to tools. Came down to cloud build. I opened it.
Cool.
Do I need to? So I see two options. I see enable and try this API, and both are wanting.
Are you in the CIT262 project within Google Cloud? I'm guessing you're not.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So what do I need to do for that?
On the upper left, there's a project name. Right next to Google Cloud Platform, to the right of it, there's a drop down.
Upper left.
Do you see it?
Yeah, so I see GitHub pipeline. Oh, okay, that's what I made. Am I not logged on? Oh, that's probably it. I just need to log on to my Gmail.
Okay, your BYUI one, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's just it.
Okay.
I'll keep working on it, and then I'll probably have another question.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, John.
Hey, I just wanted to check, how do we know whether everything's running right or like what we need to fix?
So do you have your trigger set up yet?
I believe so. I don't know if it's set up correctly, but I think
that's
it is.
fine. The way you test it is click run trigger and then just watch it. It'll create a log that you can watch as it runs, and you'll see if it's good or not by watching that log.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to jump over. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to jump over to a couple other rooms that had questions. Okay, guys?
Yep. Build the trigger build.
We're probably going to have to just keep in mind, John, I don't have all the answers right now either. So just keep in mind, this is the only assignment this week. So you're not really supposed to get it done today. Otherwise, you have nothing else to do the rest of the week. So I'm not saying that you can't get it done, but if you were to get that all done today in class, then, I don't know what we're doing. So
I mean, that'd be a bonus for me, but
I get it. But just be patient, come back on Wednesday. We'll hammer through it again. And hopefully, you guys need to do a little bit of work outside of class too. Otherwise, we need to come up with another assignment. So, all right, I'm going to step away for a minute too.
sounds good.
Brother Miller. John?
Yeah.
Do you know how to, can I just share my screen real quick? Maybe you can help.
Maybe. I'm still figuring out some of it myself, but I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Let me just share my screen real quick. Do I have permission to do that? Huh? Okay. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how we rename these files?
So the files themselves should be able to stay the same name because you'll need them to still have the app YAML and the cloud build YAML. So the names will stay the same, but you'll change some of the information inside of them.
Okay. And how do I do that?
So for example, go to the cloud build.
Okay, like the Google platform?
No, your file there.
Okay, yeah, like Docker?
One above, the cloud build. So do you see how it says CIT 262 group all?
Yeah.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through this document and the app document, which is right above, and you're going to replace that with the name of your site. It can't have any capitals, so just kind of lowercase.
Okay.
So just the CIT 262 section. So do you see how it does project ID and then CIT 262?
Yeah.
So just the little small section that says 262 group all.
I see this one.
Yeah, so that.
So that's the only thing that remains, or that's the only thing that I remove?
That's what you'll replace with your site name.
Okay. Okay, cool. I remember he was showing me something like, I don't know, I was a little bit confused where he just went there and create this other screen.
Yeah, so
Remember
that's
what
how
is?
you can like compare the differences.
Okay.
And if you don't get it all done today, that's fine. We'll be doing this again next class, and this is kind of the project for the entire week, so don't worry too much if you can't get it today.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Yep.
How do I go back to my? Okay. These guys are waiting for me, huh? I left these other guys hanging. I can't go back to my my break. Okay, I think I'll just send them a message and let them know.
Is there a breakout room button on the bottom?
No, so what happened was like I was kicked out of Zoom. Like I accidentally left the meeting, so I think I can't go back. Oh, there it is, brother Murdoch.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good.
So I just had a quick question. Maybe you can help. Like,
yeah, Brother Murdoch can probably answer better than I can.
Okay.
So most of my friends got this pretty much figured out, but we have a quick one. Let me share my screen real quick.
Okay, sure.
Did I close that? Sure. Okay. So I remember you were you telling me something about this. So John told me that there's some few things that we need to edit, like for example, like CIT 262 dash group all. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the only thing that we'll have to do.
That's the main thing. Yeah,
Okay.
you'll want to change it to your own application name instead of the one I have.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I remember you showed me something about I don't know if it was editing where I had to come and click here, right?
Yeah, so what you want to do if you're working on two at once,
Mhm.
first thing it'll do is do this duplicate the same file, which doesn't help you much. But
Okay.
if you go to your Andrew K folder on the left, and then so say you want to do work on the Docker file in there, double click that.
Mhm.
So see, now you can start copying from the left to the right what you want over there.
Mhm. Okay, so that's just the whole idea of it.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, then we just save it, right?
Say again.
Like after that, then I just save it. That's correct.
Did you say?
So after, let's say I write my code here, whatever it is, then the last thing is just to save that.
Yeah, you're gonna want to save it. That's right.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we'll be here next class meeting as well.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Okay. I think I accidentally left the meeting, so I don't see any breakout room. Is that okay if you can just push me there?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I think everyone left the breakout rooms.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
perfect.
class is over.
I'll let them know because it's like, yeah, we're gonna stick around, but thanks.
Yeah, sorry. Have
All
a
right,
good
all right.
day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I was trying to answer his question, but I wasn't sure if I was correct or not. So
But you did well, bro.
Good job, John.
just take it with a grain of salt.
Nothing wrong with guessing. That's okay.
Just out of curiosity, would I be able to share my screen and just see if I have the trigger correct?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I have my trigger here, but when I run it, it just tells me that they couldn't find a valid build file.
Okay, can you click on that? Yes. Now, see where it says build configuration?
Uh-huh.
Auto detected?
Yeah, so we want it to be a Docker file or?
No, it should be a cloud build configuration file. Like that. Yeah. And do you have a file called that in your GitHub project?
I do.
Can you say that again? My internet was weird.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
At least I should. Because I have it in my VS Code.
Okay. So you want to push it then. You want to do a git add, git commit, and git push.
Okay. Do you want me to use the terminal or can I just use VS Code?
It's up to you.
Okay, because it's a little easier just to save and push it over here.
Okay.
And then push to John's website. Okay, that should be pushed.
Okay. That's probably why the auto detect didn't work. And normally if you had that file there, it would have found it. So I bet you
Okay.
don't even have to change this. I bet you could click cancel and it would still work. But
Better safe than sorry.
yeah, mine is specific, so you can
Yeah.
do that.
Because I set everything else up as much as I could understand too.
Yeah.
I just, once I do the trigger, I don't really understand how to check the next step, so to speak.
Yeah, just watch it for now and it'll tell you if it worked or not. It'll give you a big error message if it doesn't work.
All right.
So
And
see how
then,
it says waiting for deployed objects to be ready?
yeah.
83. Then deployed object with kind service and name John's website service is ready. And then the next thing it should say is waiting for deployed objects, still waiting, deployment name John's website. So yeah, so this isn't working. There's something wrong with something, because at the very end, it's going to time out. This isn't going to work. I can tell because usually it's faster. And what it'll say in a minute is it timed out after 5 minutes. It didn't work. And so it failed. But
yeah, so would that be in my VS Code then, or?
So to find out what's wrong next, we have to actually use Kubernetes to examine it. So if you go up on the menu bar on the left in Google Cloud, and then go to Kubernetes engine, it's up there. You've just scrolled past it. Kubernetes engine, click clusters. Actually, can you go back to that other tab? Oh, yeah, we lost that one. We were just looking at it, didn't we? Okay, sorry. Okay, I just saw a change and I thought it had said something exciting, but it didn't. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, the Kubernetes thing kind of still confuses me, so.
Yeah, we haven't really just explained that very much. Oh, pods unschedulable. I always forget about this. So if you click on the cluster, see how it says your cluster has one or more unschedulable pods?
Uh-huh.
Can you click view details on the right?
Yeah.
Okay, SQL Server local. Oh, this is
to be honest, I don't even remember whether this cluster is mine or not.
No, this is for the whole class. It's the
Okay.
right. You're in the right place. So what happened was I basically didn't give it enough resources to do what we're doing is my guess. But the other possibility is that your deployment couldn't go because I think yours has less requirements, like less memory and CPU. So if you click cancel on this one, and then let's see here, clusters, services, and ingress. Can you click workloads on the left? Okay, see how there's John's website?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is unschedulable. If you want to click on it, maybe, I think it'll let you see more detail. Well, that's gonna, yeah. Can you click John's website, maybe? What's that do? Pod errors, unschedulable. And then if you click show details to the right on that. Okay, yeah, so this is my bad. So see how it says, see what the problem is?
Yeah, not enough CPU.
Yeah, so I just have to give more resources to the cluster and it'll actually just start running all by itself.
Okay. And then my second question was, for stuff like this where you have to replace it with like your title name and everything, my question was just, for some of these, we still keep like the load balancer and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Even if we
I
change
put
the
that on
name.
the end. You don't have to, but I put those on the end so you know what it is.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that like I was replacing the right things without deleting some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you did good. Good job.
Okay.
I think you finished it.
Don't tell Brother Miller that. Because he said if I finish today, then he's going to give me more homework.
Oh, man. I think it's
So-
recording right now, so you're in trouble.
Nah, we're fine. Besides, it didn't work. We have to test again.
Okay. Good enough. Cool.
All
Well,
right.
nice work,
But
John.
thank you very much. I will test it again next class when we can fix that error.
Yep, sounds good. I'll work on that in the meantime. In fact, if you want, first thing Wednesday, you could do that. If you want to fix the add more resources, I can show you how to do it. So
That'd be awesome.
cool.
All right. Well, I will leave you be for this class period, and I will
Okay.
see you on Wednesday.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Thanks. Bye. How you doing, Brother Miller?
Hang in there. I had some kids melting down for a minute, knocking on my door.
Yeah,
How are you doing? Are you burnt out? Are you doing okay?
No, I'm not burned out, actually, believe it or not.
Very good.
Yeah, I didn't figure out the Zoom thing. Do you have a second still, or do you need to go?
Yeah, it's totally worth doing if you want to work on it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, so here I am, and I was about to click something, and I think I had to help somebody, so I didn't get
So
to it.
go to edit this meeting on the bottom right.
Okay.
Okay, breakout room pre-assign.
Okay.
Create rooms.
Yeah,
And as far as I'm concerned, there's really no reason to not create lots of them. So that's why I just did 20. So, I mean, there's really, yeah, I mean, go ahead and just do it. If you only want to do a few, that's fine. But
oh, yeah.
I just hit like the plus a whole bunch of times. I just like keep, and then it just makes a whole bunch of them. Then you can have extras. And
Cool.
so it kind of doesn't hurt you to have extras. I don't know.
They don't charge extra for it.
Yeah. I mean, you might use them for something.
Yeah, I will. Oh, what did it do now?
Oh, did it disappear?
That's
Did you just click off of that little page, maybe?
have done something like that. Okay, I'm on personal meeting room. What the heck? Personal meeting room. Am I in the wrong place now? Meeting options. Edit this meeting. That's where I was. Okay, this is good. Great rooms. See, it's like they're all gone. How do you get to them? I guess I never saved it. Okay, so save. Now, if I go back, okay, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see. Where am I at? Can you hear me still, or am I muted now?
I can
Oh,
hear
you
you.
can hear me. Okay. Yeah, it'll help. It'll be nice to have that. Just make sure you click save at the bottom there before after you do all your work. In fact, I kind of saved it as I went to be sure that that it was, like you said, it can be a little finicky. But it's just super nice. Once you get it done, all you have to do is click open breakout rooms, and they're already all assigned. So.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it.
just something that we probably should be thinking about. I know we kind of already are, but in the back of our minds, if someday we're going to get the online classes to have the same assignments that we're doing now, then we're going to need to document a little bit more. Maybe do like little, like, and maybe this is later, obviously, right? I guess I haven't been thinking about it a whole ton yet because I've kind of felt like we're still in experimentation mode. But at the same time, it makes me feel a little bit of a pit in my stomach when I think about how we're doing all this great stuff and online is just doing read 2 chapters of the book, do a presentation all semester, the whole semester. That's all they're doing. And, you know, it's easy to kind of think, well, you know, the face-to-face students are the ones that I don't know. I almost sometimes think to myself, they're the ones that matter more, but it's not really true. You know,
I know. I agree.
There are actually more online students than face-to-face. And so we've got several sections of this class out there that are doing it the old way every semester. And I feel bad about that. And so
you're right. This will need to be more self-guided without anybody to lean on.
Or we'll have to just create videos for the instructors. You know, it's okay. Like I kind of like that they're figuring it out because, you know, when I look at the students who are figuring it out, I'm really impressed that they're doing it in the way that they're doing it. I actually think it's great. But, you know, we have to be able to help the instructors too.
That's what I thought a lot about. So do we know the instructors? Are they people you know? Or
so I know one of them. No, I know 2 of them. One of them applied to be a full-time faculty this last go round when you got hired.
Okay. What's his name?
And I don't remember his name. He's an older gentleman. And he doesn't seem like he's super in touch with the industry. But I don't know. And then there's another guy who is super in touch with the industry, and I'd have to look up his name. But he's out there. He really he does a lot of stuff with Scrum, and he really loves Salesforce. That guy. I don't remember why, but he likes to talk about it.
A lot of people who are into Salesforce.
Yeah.
I haven't bit the bullet yet, but
yeah. So I know 2 of them, I guess. And I kind of feel like as long as we gave them enough information or created a video for them and said, hey, look, this is what we're looking for, this assignment, you need to be able to be ready to do this and answer these types of questions, that might be good enough. Or actually write it up. We're probably going to have to do that, you know, obviously before we kind of true up with them. So I don't know when that'll be. And I also don't know, like, because I'm not teaching this class in the fall, so I guess part of me thinks you're probably going to end up making more tweaks in the fall. And
a little bit, but I don't know how much. The only element that we haven't introduced much into this class that I'm really thinking about is I've started to think about integrating. So let me think how I had it in my mind. It was like trying to think if they could somehow be tied with the contemplation project or something similar. And I haven't really introduced that yet. So that's the only element that I think might change next semester if it works out, if that works.
Okay.
And that's something that everything that I've added so far, I've agreed with you completely that I have in the back of my mind a plan of how to get it to work along with the online section, because that's got to be done. Absolutely got to be done. But the next thing, that's the trickiest thing of having them integrate with a real project. But there are some companies and open source projects that do it successfully around the world asynchronously.
Yeah.
So it could be done. and I think it
Sure.
would be really good for him.
It'd be awesome. Okay, well, that's just kind of what I was thinking today, but
Yeah,
that's kind of just something to keep in mind, not necessarily something that needs action right now.
Yeah.
So, and when the time comes, you know, when we kind of decide on a plan or how we want to solidify it, let me know and I'll help with that. However I can work with you on that.
Okay.
So yeah, I love it. It's fun. We're having a fun time. It's great. I'm eager to see kind of where it lands when we're all done, how we feel about it when we're done, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching them today too, figuring stuff out. But there were some that it seems like most of them were pretty stumped, which I expected that. I did. But that
it's actually good. It's good. I was telling them while you were in the breakout room, I was like, hey, look, you know, we don't expect you to get this done today. Otherwise, we have nothing else to do for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So it's okay for you to hammer through this a little bit. And
they're used to a different pace where they want the lab done by the end of class. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great too.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you, Sean.
Sure, have a good day.
Bye.